Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome to the 4am Crew podcast. It's Colton here, and I'm joined, as always, by the boys, Dom and Cole. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter at the 4am Crew Pod and on Instagram at the 4am Crew Podcast in order to stay notified on all future podcasts. Today, we're going to be diving into the world of gaming with some pretty hefty and controversial topics to cover, so let's get right into it. So, first off, we have a pretty hefty topic that's going on in the Call of Duty scene. I'm going to pass it over to Dom to cover this.
Yeah, all right. So, Call of Duty pro player Mutex was just recently dropped from his organization, the Dallas Empire. That is a Call of Duty League team that has been formed this year, and he's already off to a pretty rough start. So, let's get into it. Recently, there has been some discussion. He tweeted that he was cut from the team, and nobody really knew why until it was discovered that he thought his stream was off, and unfortunately it wasn't. And the things he said while the stream was on were not very pretty. He referred to a teammate as a idiot, retarded, and autistic, which is a very big no-no in the world today. And the Dallas Empire did not find that very kind of him, and they abruptly took his membership of the team away, and he is now a free agent. So what do we think about that, guys?
Well, I mean, the remarks he made were just outrageous. You gotta understand, once you get signed to a team and you have those shareholders, you can't be at like a regular gaming level how we used to have in the old COD days in the Black Ops 2 lobbies. Like, gamers don't really understand the whole aspect, and once they get into the business part of it.
They are professionals now. They need to act professional, yes.
Yeah, and the rules are there. I mean, you just have to abide by it, and honestly, it's a sad thing to see that somebody's talking that harsh in public games
to a teammate.
Yeah, to a teammate also.
Over a game of search and destroy. This wasn't like a big tournament. It might have been maybe like a tournament for maybe $100, maybe something small like that. But he was doing this over one round because one person blamed the one round on him. So just because one round was blamed on him, he called this teammate a retarded idiot and autistic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really a surprise, to be honest. I mean, yeah, when I saw the tweet about it and everybody was talking about it, it kind of let me just uttered in words, to be honest. I couldn't really fathom that somebody would do that.
Well, how about his response to being dropped? That was pretty interesting as well.
What was his response?
It was not very.
He sounds like he has a big ego. He was saying that they were never going to find somebody quite like him, to put it in briefer terms, in some nicer terms, and that he was going to carry the team to be the best search and destroy team in all of esports.
So yeah,
I found that very odd as well, because this team had two of the best up-and-coming players in Call of Duty, known for their search and destroy skills in Shotzi and Illy. So him leaving would cause them to be a worse search and destroy team and a worse team in general, when he was more than likely not going to start, maybe even play in a search and destroy, blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, and then he just, after like everything went down, and he just went off on that. What was it? Was it a Twitch stream that he was on?
He went off on his teammate in the Twitch chat, correct? And then after he got kicked, he went off in a tweet, and then once again in his Twitch chat.
Yeah, I don't know what he definitely has an ego on him for sure. From that whole statement he had after he got kicked off and he went to his Twitch, it's kind of surprising that he got signed to an org and the org didn't see this around him at all. They must have not done any look around him.
I don't know if there was no research done. I don't know if he has not acted like this in the past, but from what I've seen in tweets, this is actually something somewhat popular for him and the things he says. Like, I get you're gonna say some rude things to people, but nowadays calling someone autistic is very wrong, especially and retarded. Like, it's just not okay anymore. Like, you just got to clean up that language.
Well,
now,
you can go ahead.
Coming from his side, I understand it's one slip up. He said the words. It's like he can't do anything about that. But if you look at the eyes of the Dallas Empire and the backlash they would have if they were to keep somebody like that on their team from their fans, they just couldn't do it.
Well, and also, speaking of the Dallas Empire, I mean, how does that affect the team? Like, does that bring a good shine? That can't bring a good shine to the team. Like, it's good.
And that's why
it's publicity,
I believe they got rid of him. And that's why I believe they got rid of him, because it gives them a bad rep. If they keep him, something like that on their team would not look well. So they got rid of it as soon as possible, gave an explanation. The owner of the Dallas Empire himself, Hastur, actually came out and explained it even further to further clear up the air on the org itself and of this whole situation.
And when I've seen that, I usually see whenever a scenario happens like this, usually the CEO or the org doesn't really respond to it other than just kicking the player. They just kick the player, and they don't really give any explanation on it. But he actually came out with a video on Twitter and gave his words on it, and
I think this shows how much he really truly cares about this team, this org, and its rep, and I really appreciated that from him. It's a bad situation. Here's one of the many deleted tweets that Mutex would tweet after he lost. This is word on word, so excuse my language. Haters can literally suck my fat fucking cock. LMFAO. Tune in. Fuck all these losers preying on my downfall. Just to piss you fucking absolute lowlifes off, I'm gonna grind my balls off. Yikes.
Yeah, I really think that the team is better off without this guy on their team. That probably somebody with that attitude, it can't be a good part of a team. So to have him off the team is probably a better stand for them.
Yeah, I think they brought him in as a sub S&D analyst type role, so he would have been an S&D specialist. So I don't think he was too important to the team. But going forward, do you see any other Call of Duty League's teams trying to pick Mutex up? Do you think he gets picked up by anybody in the near future?
After this blow up with him on the Twitch stream and all these tweets, I do not. I think he has kind of
ruined himself.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of ended his career in the Call of Duty scene.
I don't know if he ended his career, but I think he's going to need to take a break for a while, like a couple months. It's going to take probably a year for people to.
He definitely won't be signed to another big org. He might have to work his way back up, and he may have to clear his name for a bit.
Yes.
But he definitely has put a damper on his name for a bit.
He needs some time to prove that he is matured and can take this seriously, unlike how he did.
So now, with all this, does it make people think anything about the Call of Duty scene?
There's always going to be those people that think COD is just toxic, and I'm not going to lie, it's pretty toxic at times. But this really ruins it, because there are people that truly do this as their profession, and they take it serious, and they act professional, and they're really great people. But it's the people like these that put the bad reputation on all of them and make everybody see them as just these toxic gamers that really don't know what they're doing with their lives, and it's just a bunch of trash talk and rude. And it's not really how it is.
I mean, and I think everybody that's listening, and all three of us can relate. Whenever you'd hop in a COD lobby back in the day, everybody had this toxic nature to them, but nobody ever stepped out of their boundary. Even if they were streaming or making YouTube videos, they always kept it at a level you knew your boundaries, and he just crossed that boundary today.
Yeah, obviously in the pubs you run into some idiots, but when you have streamers or people that do this professionally, they keep it to themselves. They don't go over the line, and if they do, they get the consequences and they face them, just like Mutex is now.
So yeah, overall, I don't know what he was really thinking on the matter, and hopefully this is a big learning step for him. But for right now, I don't think he really cares about the learning curve that he has ahead of him.
All right, I think that about covers that topic. Now, going into not the same game, but a different popular game. We're going to be talking about Fortnite, and a popular Twitch streamer, y'all probably know him, Tfue, is facing a possible ban for a quote-unquote witch hunt for saying that other players were landing at his spot. Cole, what do you think about this?
So Tfue obviously is probably one of the biggest known competitive players for Fortnite, and has made Fortnite a pretty big game along with Ninja. But
he's probably the biggest Twitch streamer of Fortnite now, considering the few moves that have happened these last few weeks.
Considering anybody that knows anything about Fortnite right now in the competitive scene, there's the Fortnite FCNS happening right now, the championship series, and right now it's ended. Everybody that's qualified will play in some heats to go all the way and play in a final match. but Tfue doesn't seem like he's too happy with people landing at his certain landing spot. So he decided that he wanted to get this player kicked from the org and kind of like witch hunt after him. It's probably not the best move by Tfue, considering as like with Mutex, he's on a huge scale of people. Usually around 20 to 30,000 people in his Twitch chat are gonna try and get a kid kicked from his org. It's probably not the best sight looking for Tfue there, but how do you guys feel about Tfue coming after this kid just for him landing at his spot?
I mean, I don't think this is the first time Tfue's came at somebody for dropping on him. I think any stream where he gets dropped on, I feel like he complains. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like that's a constant complaint of him, is people dropping in his spot. In reality, it's not his spot. It doesn't say, this is Tfue's drop, do not drop here.
It's happened in like multiple occasions where they're upset, that people have landed at their spot, but that's the important part of the game, is you have to be better than any opponent in the game. It's last man standing. And if somebody's going to land at your spot, that's just part of the game. You got to get over that.
Yes. Like I said, I saw the perfect tweet earlier. It said, once you make it big in Fortnite, like you qualify for these things, you don't drop on people for publicity. You don't try to grief anybody. You're just playing the game. You're playing to win. I don't know why Tfue thinks these big streamers, well, not big, they're big, but compared to him, they're not as big, are dropping to grief, because they're not. They're playing the game just like him. They're trying to win money, and they're trying to be the best Fortnite player they can possibly be.
And so Tfue, he's streaming on Twitch right now, and a lot of people feel like he's breaking the rules, as in he's harassing this player from LG Liquid Gaming or Luminosity Gaming, and he basically has said that he wants to bring all these people over from his Twitch stream to try and get him kicked from an organization, which that falls under the harassment clause for the Twitch rules, which this can result in Tfue getting some sort of ban, or who knows what it might be. But Tfue also could not care as much anymore, because he could be getting potential offers from, who knows, Facebook, YouTube, or Mixer to move from a different platform. But that also could affect his deals that he has going on, so it's probably not the best look on Tfue.
I would just like to clarify that I saw earlier a tweet from the whole squad that Tfue thinks is quote-unquote griefing him. They said that they didn't have any time to practice the following week, or the following week before this all happened. So they just kept landing there, and he said that he eventually killed him, so it all paid off in the end. So he wasn't trying to grief him. It's just Tfue being egotistic. Just classic Tfue, you know?
Oh yeah, and as people they're qualified and they're in the finals part of the weekends that they're playing on Sunday. They're obviously there because they're good at the game and they want to win. They're not going to try and grief, because if you grief, you're most likely not going to win or place in this for the final heats. So I don't know what Tfue is trying to get at this. Just trying to get under a team's skin, and honestly, it's just kind of. I mean, it's just lost for words, as also with Mutex. Like, people with these big followings just need to start thinking more on their actions. And it's
I just found this tweet that has 5,000 likes from Tristan Hip on Twitter that says the player that Tfue is complaining about and his team have actually been landing in that spot all season.
And so if they've been landing there all season, and I guarantee you Tfue probably knows this, because he's probably faced against them through all the finals that they've had, because his team obviously is a good team. So since it's probably not the first time he's run into this team, and maybe they've qualified and they're gonna be he's gonna be facing him. He's probably a little upset that they're gonna be landing at his spot for sure.
Now, the whole thing with it being called a witch hunt, though, I don't know if it's that serious. I don't know if Tfue was being that serious when he said, obviously, when he was quite frustrated in chat, when he told his chat to go do it and go to the org and tell them to drop him. I don't think he was being quite serious. I don't think he'd think any of his chat would really do that, even though there's a lot of probably douchebags in his chat that would, just to try to be funny. I don't think he took that as serious. There's a lot of Fortnite pros out there that say stupid stuff like that just out of frustration that don't really mean it. So does it deserve a ban? I don't think so.
Yeah, I definitely think the witch hunting comment got blown out a little bit out of proportion. Don't think Tfue really has that harsh of a plan for this happening, but he definitely could possibly have broken a Twitch rule. But it's all up to Twitch and how they feel. You gotta consider he is probably, I think, their biggest streamer now, since Ninja and Shroud have both left. So there may be some consequences, there may not. I think.
What do you think about it, Colton?
I think that if he does end up getting banned for what, the third time now, he's gonna be fed up with Twitch and say, "Screw you guys for not like backing up your most popular streamer," and then he's just gonna like look for other options, like say Mixer, who has a less strict TOS, or maybe Facebook. Or, I don't think he would go to Facebook, but it's one of these other like 4 contenders that are trying to buy out. Because let's just look at this. If Mixer, who is owned by the wealthiest man in the world, Bill Gates, wanted to buy out Tfue, they could easily buy him out, and I think Tfue would not be a fool to not take that offer.
They've already convinced Ninja and Shroud to go there, so they must have had a hefty penny to get them there.
So yeah, I definitely feel like this puts Twitch in a bind for seeing if they can keep Tfue, or if they don't really care too much about Tfue and they care more about their rules and their.
Is with Tfue being such a big streamer, does this affect the way they approach the situation?
If I was in this scenario, or actually you can go, Colton, you can go.
If I was Twitch, I would say, you know what? We've been getting so much backlash because people are calling us sexist because we only support female streamers. And like all the negativity. If they remove Tfue or ban Tfue or permaban Tfue or whatever they want to do, if they ban Tfue, then that would probably shine a bigger light on them for like removing a toxic streamer from their platform.
Yeah, because we all know Twitch has not really been too friendly to most of their creators. They kind of do like to side more towards the female side, so they were to
just throw a cat.
Yeah, if you throw a cat, I mean, you might as well
that's
just.
all good, man.
You gotta be a girl, throw a cat. You're fine. Give them vodka. You know, they might actually win some people back over, but they will lose a majority of their fans because Tfue is that big guy on Twitch.
They've already lost Courage, Delor, Ninja, Shroud. That's 4 big like top dog streamers on their platform that they have already lost.
Yeah, and Ewok and a couple of others have also left.
Yeah,
so we can more move it off of the Tfue topic and even go into talking about which platform may be the top dog soon. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about the whole Ninja Shroud is moving out, and Twitch and YouTube and maybe even Facebook and Mixer are all combined in this little cluster of who's going to be taking over Twitch? Because Twitch is like the live streaming place everybody
I can tell
goes.
you one thing is, keep Facebook out of this discussion. They're nowhere near it. They're never going to be anywhere near it. Nobody's going to watch live streams on Facebook. I'm sorry. It's just not that important to anybody on Facebook. Keep them out of this. Mixer starting to get up there. YouTube has been starting to get up there, but they're starting to actually sign more and more now that I see. YouTube, I feel like, has the best chance. It's just because YouTube's already popular itself with its regular videos, but now with the streaming, they can also stay with their favorite YouTubers at the same time. And the Fortnite event, actually, stream was like most viewed on YouTube.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on the whole Facebook part. I feel like Facebook should stay to the old old parents and moms on there. They should definitely only be there. I think Facebook's reached its time.
I don't little cooking shows.
Yeah, I don't think Facebook can really step into this part. I don't think they have accepted gaming too well. YouTube, yeah, as you said, Fortnite World Cup, they were the leading for views and people watching, and Mixer really wasn't
the end of season 1 event with the whole whatever that stupid shit was that made me sit and watch a black screen for 4 days. That was terrible. Yeah, season X. Thanks, Colton.
Yeah, and Mixer wasn't really around for that scene quite, so they weren't really in the shine light. But Mixer has, since they've signed Shroud, Ewok, Ninja, and all these others, they've really risen up and given themselves a name. But
That's a pretty interesting signing by Mixer.
And like
Ewok was a wild card. They were going after these big streamers, and they go after this mid-carder Ewok, and that's just like a really nice, like, I don't know, like uplifting feeling that they're going not only just looking for big dogs, but also going for the ones the community just love and just a really friendly streamer that people would like to watch.
But what I really think that a lot of people aren't thinking of is what org is Ewok a part of? FaZe Clan. Probably the biggest esports organization. That's a big buyout for them, is in all those fans are so diehard for FaZe. If they can get some of those FaZe people to pull over, they will definitely stay on there because Ewok's on there.
Oh yeah.
But
and like I said earlier, they could easily afford it because Bill Gates is literally the richest man on the planet, so they could easily like afford it.
The
That's
problem
like
is, how much
them.
does Bill Gates care about esports and gaming?
Pretty much if he's willing to buy Ninja and Shroud and Ewok. So clearly he cares quite a big deal.
Does he actually run Mixer though? Or he just own it?
He owns it. He doesn't. It's not Bill Gates just sitting there saying, you know what, I want to sign Ninja. It's like devs, you know. It's like a whole.
you got to think,
Oh,
Mixer is also. I don't know if Twitch has had any big deals coming out like this. I think Mixer is like the first platform to really go big and come out with these $1 million deals to take them over. So they definitely have the cash flow. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And we still got to think. Twitch has only been in the media and in the Shine for probably 2-3 years at most. So they probably don't have. They definitely don't have the bank to compete. But if they keep at top dog right now and fix a couple of their them only siding with the females and some of their rules and policies, I definitely think that they could keep that right there because they do have everybody, and everybody knows, like, whenever you want to watch esports, you just head over to Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, I think that about wraps that segment up.
Yeah, less of the gamers, more. Let's focus on a game itself. The game that we've been talking about, Fortnite. What did you guys so far think about Fortnite Season 1, Chapter 2?
I think we can start off here with the whole event, the big old black hole. Obviously,
fuck that event, dude.
Obviously, Fortnite.
Don't bring it up. I'm tired.
Well,
that was bullshit. Okay?
We got to start out with the beginning. So,
I know.
Obviously, Fortnite was not doing too well in Season 10. They added the mech. Constantly, players were leaving.
Don't get me fucking started on those mechs. I forgot about those.
Constantly, people were leaving. The mech didn't help. And then they did this huge revival.
Damn right, it didn't fucking help.
Everybody wanted the game reverted back how they loved when they first introduced to the game, Season 1, Season 2. And so they do this big black hole event. And they get trending on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everything. They get major news headlines. And then they go out for like a solid week. And everybody on Fortnite, they're sitting there just fiending, watching this black hole on the screen, waiting to play. And honestly, it's a smart move by them to get everybody interested back in Fortnite. And how did you guys feel about taking the break and not being able to do anything with Fortnite?
Best marketing strat I've ever seen a game do. Like, if you look at Google Trends, it's like it's Google Trends, but still, if you look at Google Trends, Fortnite is at the highest, or was at the highest peak, like the highest part of like their Google Trends searches since season 2 or season 3, like when it was really big, like when Ninja started playing with Drake and everything. It is at the highest part, or I think it's going down a little bit, but now they put themselves out there. They said we're still game 2 years in and running. We're still gonna be here for a while, fellas. So kick back, you know.
Yeah, I think this event really showed how popular Fortnite is. Millions of people were staring at a black screen for
us
days.
Included. Us, we can't.
Oh yeah, we can't.
I didn't turn my PS4 off. It was stuck on that screen because I was hoping something would happen, and nothing happened for days.
I mean, we've all seen the viral videos of kids screaming, punching their TVs and their monitors. Like, Fortnite definitely has a big effect on the world right now, and every little kid that's playing a game has played Fortnite or is still playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
But there's also people who have been playing on the same map for 10 10 seasons, so they finally brought out the brand new map with all these new features. How did that feel to walk onto a brand new map?
Really refreshing. I love the new map. I think that the storyline kind of ruined the old map because they focused too much on it. Season 5 added the desert. Season 7 added the snow, which made me want to barf every time I see it. Yeah, and then Dusty Divot, which, okay, that was like one of the only good map changes from the entire thing, which they just said, fuck Dusty Divot, and brought back the whole Season 3 map. But, you know, I think that this map is just so good. It needs mobility, though. The mobility is the only thing.
Without a doubt.
Launch pads. We only want launch pads. Boats are dog shit. Launch pads. We all want launch pads. Like, that's all
I never understood why they took those out of the game.
But we also have to talk about one of the main things is the loot pool. The loot pool in Season 10 was outrageous. The variety of guns you had, there was probably 6 sniper rifles you could have gotten.
Don't get me started on those junk rifts.
Yeah, the game was just blown too much, way too spread out, but they've reverted back to Season 1, Season 2, where it's just shields, shotguns, and ARs mainly, and snipers, which is kind of refreshing.
I forgot to mention that the mechs were also storyline related. So
yeah,
that was dumb. I hated that.
Without the storyline, we wouldn't have had mechs, and Season 10 would have been arguably the best season Fortnite ever had.
No. Season 10 was awful.
But they definitely helped out competitive a lot, which I think it opened a lot of people's eyes to seeing with this squad mode. A lot of people thought they were going to revert back to just the solo and duos and have another World Cup, but the squads has probably been the most hyped up event that they've had for esports right now, which is it's what everybody was hyped up at the beginning. They thought it was going to be the first couple of tourneys, and then it was solos and duos. So squads has definitely relived the hype of Fortnite. It was a great start to it as well.
Alright. Well, fuck Season 10. It's a new chapter of Fortnite. What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about this new chapter so far?
I'm liking it, you know. Like I said, we need more mobility. The loophole is fabulous, except for gray pumps. Me and Cole played like 2 or 3 games of regular pubs. We played like the LTMs a little bit, but we played like 2 or 3 games of regular pubs. Literally 3 games in a row. Gray pump. Hit a guy for 20 like twice, and then a headshot for 40. And it is just so garbage. The gray pump needs to go. But other than that, the loophole is amazing. I love the loophole. I love that they made like basically gold pumps for every weapon. You know, like and now the heavy AR and scoped AR is coming back. You know, I love the loophole. I think it's good. I think it's simple. I think it's what it needed to be this whole time.
Well, we gotta also talk about the when we were playing at like a regular time, 7-8 o'clock when kids should be on, and queue times were a little ridiculous for just a regular public game, sitting there for minute and a half, 2 minutes just to get into a game. So you can obviously see there's something going on with people wanting to play the game. It's either if they're not talking about putting out patch notes or giving insight what they're doing with the game.
They just haven't been doing much with it, and that's a problem.
Which is also what people were asking for. People were asking for a much simpler game, but they also want them to add stuff in as well. So it's like, which side do they go to, you know?
You know, I don't want to hear anything about patch notes because everybody was bitching about every single update, and then they stopped doing patch notes to say, you know what, tell us what you think about it before you read about it. And then everybody was mad about that. They brought patch notes back. Literally that update, everybody bitched about what they didn't do, what they did because of patch notes. I don't want to hear anything.
Well, I think the players
notes,
deserve to know what was patched, what has changed, what they've done with the game. I think that we as players deserve to know.
Yeah, I believe that
every
as
game
well.
releases patch notes for that very reason. Players deserve to know instead of just chopping into a game and being like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened to my gun? Why is it only going for 10 damage instead of 35?"
And also, since the game's at a competitive standpoint, you can't really be switching it up and having these pro tournaments just be decided by not knowing what's going on with the game.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And with you having 10 straight seasons of letting everybody know what's going on with the updates, and then you just decide not to give anybody an insight. I get it, it's a brand new map, so you want people to explore, play the game, and have it live up to the hype like it did when they first played in Season 1 and Season 2, but after a bit, you gotta let us know you're changing. And I mean, Colton, you gotta say this, it feels like they've kind of removed some of the bots in the game.
I literally I've stopped playing for a couple weeks. I legit have not seen a single bot at all. I know that they updated bots to where they can build ramps now, and they spectate you, and you can spectate them. But other than that, they haven't updated them, so you can still tell if a bot just builds like a single wall or a single ramp and like has dog shit aim, Dom. But
Whoa,
you know,
whoa. Talk about the building, not my aim, buddy.
Yeah, the aim's on point. The building's
I'm
not.
a controller there, buddy. I'm controller. I got the aim assist. Fuck off.
Yeah, but I didn't really like bots to begin with. It didn't really feel like a kill, so I'm okay with it. No, I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, it just comes back to I wish they would let us know that they've changed that up, because you could obviously feel the heavy difference from bots to regular players.
True.
I think there's way too many bots in this game. I run into at least 2 every 4 games, and I get it's a free kill, but it's just not fun running into a bot, wasting your time on them. Like you're supposed to run into people. I feel like that's one of the problems with Fortnite. Speaking of bots, the new players, they are focusing way too much on new players and making this game for them. It's making the game worse for the vets.
Well, they kind of stopped that. They added skill-based matchmaking, which was a great idea. They added bots, which was a great idea. So they kind of just did that. And so it's like mechs got meth. It's like mechs, for fuck's sakes, mechs got a heavy nerf, and like has been reverted to skill-based matchmaking. And no, like the mechs were supposed to be for the newer players. Like Fortnite literally came out and said that. But yeah, I think that skill-based matchmaking and bots are the new mech of this season.
Don't you feel like at a certain point of like however they're measuring how skilled a player is, should there be no more like bots in their game? You know, like what's the standard at which they should start not allowing bots in these games to actually let them play against real players, so that they can actually get a feel for not just going up against bots.
Going up against bot, you're not getting a feel, dude. Like,
and we all know playing against better players is how you get better at a game.
Even like average players, they still build somewhat decent now. Like if you're playing people that build one ramp, like that's nowhere in comparison to what you're gonna face against a real player. And it's gonna probably be a real letdown, because some of these players that don't know their bots probably think they're getting a great kill, and then once they get later in the game with the real people, are probably just getting absolutely destroyed and probably demoralized. They really can't get deep into these games because they can't actually kill a real player, because they're not actually they don't need to. When you're killing bots, you don't need to be good. You can literally stand in the open and the bots still wouldn't be able to kill you.
Yeah, because these guys aren't learning the rotations that normal people would be taking, and they're not realizing how an actual game is played, because it's definitely played a lot different than what the bots have been playing it.
I think they literally go the white line that tells you where the storm, like your distance to the storm or whatever. I think they literally follow that white line in like a straight line. I think that's like what they're programmed to do.
Yeah, and the bots definitely don't take the time to farm as much as they don't really perform as a regular player, to be honest.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and contradict that, because every time I place a wall, they go ahead and like try to destroy it, or they just pickaxe something randomly. So I don't know about the whole farming thing, but yeah, they are what they are.
Off topic. But Cole was speaking about rotation, and with the very little rotation, like objects and items you can use, like you don't have no launch pads, you don't have rift to goes, you don't have anything of those sorts. I feel that storm fighting has been so common, and it's annoying in this game.
Yeah, they definitely have to add some sort of rotation item besides the boats, because the map actually is even a bigger map, so they gotta do something with the rotations.
What I think they need to do, add launch pads and add riffs. Not riff to goes, not riff junk riffs, just riffs. Like riffs that are placed around the
I
map.
don't
Add like
know
4 or
if they
5
can
of them around the map.
add riffs though, because riffs were somewhat like of a storyline type thing. A few like the back in the seasons, you remember when the crack and
Yeah,
everything,
season
the riffs.
5 with the freaking desert.
So I don't know if you can
exact-
add the riffs into this new map because those storylines are over.
But they
Well,
definitely
can
could
always
add the
just plug
launch
it back
pads.
in.
Well, launch
can
pads
always-
for sure. There's no reason for those to be gone. Please drop out of the sky, Epic. Drop us a launch pad. Put it somewhere because I need to use one.
How would you guys like an unvaulting event for mobility? Like
I
how we had it for
I
the
think they
weapons.
should do it for our mobility. I don't think they should do it for anything other than that, because there's definitely there will be an uproar if they do it for a weapon.
All right. Here's what we would have in the event if I was the Epic dev. ATKs, quad crashers, launch pads, and riffs. Not rift to goes, not junk riffs, just riffs. Which one would you pick?
So you wouldn't put hoverboards in that scenario?
Nope. Which ones would you pick?
I'd honestly put
You say launch pads because you said launch pads. That's easily the one
Yeah.
I'm picking.
I think with this, yeah, I'd probably do launch pads. But if you could choose a vehicle, I would definitely choose the ATK, the golf cart, because I think it actually works best with this map. I think the
What about if they add shopping carts back?
Yeah, even shopping carts might be. It's just got to be a somewhat slow vehicle.
Something that goes fast, man. I can't just run the whole fucking time from one side of the map to the other.
I mean, yeah, they gotta have some. I get, yeah, the boat's good for water. You can't really drive a boat on land without people knowing you're near. So I mean, if you
You
take
can drive a boat on water without them knowing you're near shit.
but you always
there's this,
you may take more time in the storm, or you may run into a team, which is the benefit of maybe having like an ATK or a golf cart around.
Well, there's this racetrack, and on the racetrack they literally have like a bunch. You guys remember back in like season 4 or whatever when the golf cart, or not the golf cart, the shopping cart got leaked or whatever, and they were all lined up on the racetrack. There's a racetrack similar to that, but they have lawnmowers. So people are like speculating that lawnmowers are going to be the next shopping cart.
Lawnmowers, nice.
That would actually be like freaking dope. I would love that. Like just run around. Like imagine
is
like
so
you're running
weird.
with it, and it like has like the same sound as a boat. Like just imagine that. That would be awesome.
Just coming to mow your lawn.
Yeah, I definitely
They-
feel
they
like
could, like, shoot
they've
blades
got to
at
have
them.
something in the works for a mobility item, because everybody's been asking for it.
All right,
Yeah.
so I
I
think
think that's
that
enough Fortnite, Colton, right?
actually there has been a Fortnite creator on YouTube by the name of Zarby, and he has, let me check here, 569k subs. Now,
You wanna
that's all
give some
great
to
and
us?
all. That's all great and all, but he has been caught by Epic promoting, I should say, account selling websites such as SD
Oh,
Mods, or not SD Mods. That's Brody's thing.
Hey, Brody, if you
No, I
watch this,
swear,
shout out
there's
to
like
you.
there's something called like CT Mods or like something like, yeah, it's like CT Mods on
Okay.
Yeah, because we're not really knowing
and they're
about
like
all the
an
mods.
account selling thing, their website, and he's been promoting those things, and so he had all of his videos that have ever had anything to do with Fortnite copyrighted, and if you get 3 copyright strikes, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out, you know, and so his channel is completely gone. They took away his supporter creator, and he cannot make another channel on YouTube at all, or else it will
Wow.
get banned. Yep.
Part of that,
And I agree with it 100%. I agree with what Fortnite did. I like how they're making examples of content creators to not do stupid stuff like that. And he did
Especially
it.
when like your
money,
main
you know?
audience and target is children. Like that's like you're taking advantage of people like that.
Yep. I think Fortnite is handling it great. You know.
part of I definitely feel like Fortnite definitely did the right situation right there. But the part of on the YouTube part where he just gets 3 strikes immediately. Don't you feel like there should be some sort of warning there so that he doesn't
Yes.
just 1, 2, 3 and he's just
Yes.
gone?
because this kind of like thing reminds me. Do you guys remember the T. Martin Syndicate scandal with the CS:GO skins?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get into too much trouble. They're on YouTube right now, pretty doing fine. They're scamming people for their money for skins that they get to decide. Like, hey, I'm gonna get this skin because I own the website.
Okay, but you gotta think about it from Fortnite's perspective. He technically already got a warning when he read the terms of service.
I'm talking about YouTube's decision.
No,
why did YouTube give them 3 strikes though?
Because that's part of their terms of service.
But I feel like they should give him an email warning that
that's not in their thing though. If it was in their thing, then I would agree with it. But
and as
in their terms of service,
as a creator, would you feel happy that if you were uploading content and then you just randomly got 3 strikes on your video and you had a week until your channel was just gone?
No, but then again, I wouldn't want to promote things that are obvious scams to like 13-year-old kids. So he's kind of like contradicting himself there, and he obviously didn't feel bad about it until he got caught. You know.
Well, yeah, you can always make the argument that though everybody does make a mistake here and there, and if you make the mistake here, you don't get a warning at all. It's the harshest punishment possible. I mean, first of all, Fortnite does the worst they can, and they can just remove his support a creator. But then also YouTube just 3 on his account, and it's gone, and he doesn't really have any revenue now. It's like the harshest he could probably have gotten.
What was the exact reason for YouTube giving him 3 strikes right away?
Because it's against their terms of service to
term of
promote
service
scams. He's promoting scams, and
Syndicate and T. Martin, they were promoting a scam website that they ran. Why is that not 3 strikes? Why was that not 3 strikes?
I'm not saying they're not wrong for
that. What were they running theirs on?
They were doing CS:GO skins, and they were acting like they were going nuts for CS:GO skins, right? Like they're just buying all kinds of them and hoping they'd finally get one out of the crate. When in reality, they own the website and they decided which skins came out of the crate.
I feel like on that point, there were a lot of CS:GO sites that were scams, and a lot of people did get punished and brought out for that. I feel like in that stance that they were just one of the people that didn't get too harsh of a punishment.
Which is why I'm confused. If that's against YouTube's terms of service, but they didn't get 3 strikes those years ago, why are they getting 3 strikes now?
Because YouTube has the right. Now, I'm not saying that they're right for it, but they have the right to do that. It's their company. It's in their terms of service not to do that, and if they choose to punish them harsh or punish them strict, they're not strict at all, then that's their right. I can't get mad at them for. And
you also have to think Fortnite is one of the toughest companies out there for what they want with their games.
It just seems like one of those things where YouTube bans someone that's not as big, but if it's a big star, they can't hit him with a big ban because they're scared of losing viewers.
I have a perfect example of that. Landon was banned on Fortnite, and he had 2 copyright strikes on 2 Fortnite videos, so 1 more and he's gone. But what he did was he made like a custom Spider-Man skin inside of Fortnite, and obviously there's no fucking Spider-Man skin in Fortnite, but he like had a hacker make it,
Okay.
And then he got banned. He got perma-banned from Fortnite. Well, not perma-banned, but he got his account banned. And
there's been many cases of with people making certain skins.
Literally made the same video, like not even a month after.
And Ali A is one of the goody two shoes for Fortnite as well.
And so that's also like another example of them like going after not as small but smaller, so they don't lose their. And
you feel like Zarby's not one of those goody two shoes that's been like promoting the game ever since it came out. It's they're showing love to people that have brought their game to popularity, I would say. That's probably not the best route for them to be taking, and it can get a lot of people on the wrong side.
I'm not saying they're right for it, but all I'm saying is I can't be mad at them because they have the right to do it,
That's very true.
Yeah, just like the whole thing with Jarvis, they had the right to do that. There's been plenty, like if you look at this guy named Shotgun Plays, he literally And I'm not throwing hate to the guy 'cause I think he's fucking hilarious, but he makes aimbot and hacking videos as well, and it's like legit aimbot and legit hacking, you know. And he doesn't he gets copyright strikes, but he doesn't get what's it called? He doesn't get banned, you know. Like
Or probably still has a supported creator, you know.
yeah, and he's one with like I think 3 mil subs. But no, I don't think he has a supported creator actually. I think they won't give him one. They have he has like 3 mil subs or whatever, and Landon has I think a little bit less than that or whatever. I don't know, maybe more now, but at the time, you know.
Yeah, with the side of what has happened to Zarby's channel, I 100% agree with what Fortnite has done. I just don't entirely agree with the whole YouTube side, and I feel like they should definitely give him a little bit more of a warning, because YouTube is a lot of people, everybody on there that does it full time, it's their whole livelihood.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think he broke the rules. He got what he not necessarily deserved, but he got what was coming to him, I guess.
Yeah, there's obviously two sides to that, however anybody feels, and anybody watching comment which side you'd want to be on. If you feel like Zarby had too harsh of a ban on his account, or you feel like he should have gotten a warning.
I feel like it was too harsh, but I feel like once again YouTube has the right.
Yeah, it's in their rules. I mean,
yeah, don't break the rules, kids. Moral of the story, you know.
So speaking of Fortnite, a lot of people, they played the game for how many seasons in a couple of years now, tend to get burned out of the game. And there's a lot of other games that everybody would love to play.
I find myself getting burned out a couple times a week now. Actually, there's some days where I just don't want to play it.
And that comes back to the game just not having as much stuff in it to play with. But I know we've, as a group, have decided to venture out into different games to just have fun. I mean, we spent maybe a month just in the creative trying to have fun, and after that gets boring, you know, you don't really have any more options on Fortnite.
Yeah. And some games I myself have been playing to not really only be playing Fortnite every day is technically it's still Fortnite, but like he said, Fortnite Creative, so that's one. The second one is Celeste, and it's kind of a brain tedious type game. It's like Mario and Fortnite Death Runs had a baby. They make you makes you rage a lot, but it's really addicting, and I think it.
Hello, yeah.
Okay, and I think it won Game of the Year for non-AAA title game. Like it was just like 4 friends just making a game, you know, and it's a fun game. Next one is something that we've ventured into and we play it a lot. Is we as in us three is Rocket League, and the game's been out since 2015, but we're new to it, you know. It is a fun game. It's not tedious at all. Well, it can be tedious if you take it too seriously, dumb. But you know, it's
well, I just play to win, man.
Yeah, you definitely gotta have fun in a game, but everybody has a different version of fun for the game.
Yeah, and this is like one that I've been playing like for like almost my whole life since like 2007, since the franchise started. Is Assassin's Creed. It's a good storyline to get developed into. All their games are beautiful, and I'm pretty sure you can run all of them on new gen platforms. So those are like my top 4 or 5 favorite games that I've liked to play. Like to been playing since Fortnite's kind of not really living up to its standards, you know.
Oh yeah,
I feel you, man.
I definitely feel like there's a wide variety of games outside of Fortnite that just don't get the recognition just because Fortnite has this big platform, but there's definitely great games. Like, I ventured into Rocket League before, didn't like it, and I mainly focused on Fortnite. I come back with a group of friends, and the game's really fun, and you start to enjoy it.
It's also super simple and kind of easy to get the hang of.
Oh, yeah.
But from an outside perspective, it seems kind of complicated with all the aspects to it, but it's really, really quite simple.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Very easy game to play as well. Like we play it for hours too. It's not like we just get bored. Like it doesn't, even though it's like this the same game mode, same game type, it doesn't really get too repetitive because each game something new happens. Whether you make a weird play, a dumb play, like it's just fun. You always just have fun with your friends. I would recommend playing with friends. I don't know how it'd be on your own, but I feel like to get boring a little faster without friends because you just don't have that communication, the fun times you do with other people.
And one thing about that game, do not take it to the point where you want to win. Like, not necessarily don't want to win every single game, but don't feel like you have to win every single game, such as like Fortnite. You know, like just don't give it that
Especially
mindset.
if you're just getting into it, because there's some people that have been playing for a while, and when you play them, you just feel like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
So yeah, I mean, you want to talk about any of the other games that Colton you've really been starting to learn in depth more than just Rocket League?
Pokemon Storm and Shield has been really fun.
Was that the newest Pokemon that came out?
Yeah, it's on console, and it's actually been really. I haven't had a problem with it.
Yeah, I've seen that all over Twitch, and because I mean, everybody loves Pokemon. I didn't really get in. You don't really like Pokemon?
Oh man, here comes another unpopular opinion. Buckle up, boys. Pokemon sucks. Alright, it just sucks.
I wouldn't say it sucks, but it is really repetitive.
Yeah, it can be repetitive, but it's definitely one of those games that you could sit down and play for a while if you haven't been on it, for sure.
Another one that I've been playing, because this dude in my stream said, yo, stream this game. It's really hard, but it's fun. It's this game that's been out for a couple of years called Hello Neighbor. It's run on the same graphics engine as Sea of Thieves and Fortnite, so it's like a first person Fortnite, you know? But it's actually pretty fun, you know. It's again, if Fortnite Death Run,
dude,
V2,
I'm looking at a picture of this game you're talking about. This guy looks like a serial killer.
It's fucking terrifying, dude.
And is it a horror game?
It's like a borderline horror slash. It's like a horror. What's the collaboration word for horror and comedy? Is that even a thing?
Dude,
a thriller?
Really yeah, sure, a thriller. Let's go with that.
I'm gonna make a new word. All right, horromedy. It's horror and a comedy. All right.
I guess you could say that.
Horromedy, yeah. And
horromedy. I think you should just call it horror comedy or comedy horror if you want to be honest with you.
A com horror.
Okay, I did not say that, but we'll go with it. A com horror.
A horror com.
But if anybody else has that's watching that has some games that they've kind of even if you're not even playing Fortnite, say you're playing Call of Duty or maybe you're playing Rocket League and you wanted to venture out into a different game.
Say what's up, man.
What other games have you ventured
not
into?
Right now, but how about you, Cole? What have you ventured into besides Fortnite and Rocket League?
Yeah, let's hear the mystical world of Cole Holloway.
Honestly, I've really ventured only into. I mean, I used to play Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was a great game until they.
I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, I was playing with Colton, and then they just decided they ruined the game. Honestly, it was cross-platform where you could play with your friends who were in PC and also on Xbox, but there was no PS4 because it's a Microsoft game. And they decided to just end that, which just shut down the whole community. So that was one of the main games that was just like a reliever. And then now Rocket League has been that for right now for me. It's kind of been the main game that I've been having fun with.
Yeah.
I kind of lied. There's that Cole just reminded me. There's been some. Basically, I want to throw an honorable mention, if you will, into it. Literally any PS4 exclusive game because they're all amazing and
oh my god, dude!
Like MLB The Show, and this is coming from an Xbox fanboy.
I love the show.
This is coming from an Xbox fanboy, you know. But
I'm very sad The Last of Us 2 was pushed back.
Yeah, the show God of War. They're having a new one coming out, Ghost of Tsushima, that looks really promising. You're a samurai in feudal Japan. It looks really promising, and I love PS4 exclusive games like Spider-Man, you know. And there's going to be a new adventure.
Spider-Man! I love that shit too. I got all the DLC and everything, man. Yeah.
One more honorable mention is because it's not out yet. I couldn't say it, but it looks really, really promising. Is the Marvel's Avengers game that's going to be coming out soon?
I don't know about that one. I'm kind of skeptical because obviously the actors from the movies and the actors in the game are going to be different, which is really unappealing to me right now. So I'm really going to have to watch and play some gameplay to really know if I'm going to like it or not.
Yep. So what games have you been dabbling with, Dom, besides Fortnite and Rocket League?
Not too many. Honestly, I'm not a big of a gamer guy. Besides the games I play with my friends, which are the ones you just named, there's a couple that I'll play not really by myself. I'll play with like my brother or something. Call of Duty, obviously, but I've just been really struggling because one, they have a shotgun in the game right now, where it's pretty much a sniper rifle, dude.
Yeah.
I've heard they've actually like
they nerfed it, and it's still ridiculous.
They didn't on release. They didn't have like free for all yet.
They don't have hardpoint still. I know that.
Yeah, and I've heard all their maps. Well, not all their maps, but a lot
all
of
the maps are
pretty
trash.
dog shit. Yeah.
There's so many lines of sight, dude. You're getting shot at from like 17 different ways, and it's just ridiculous. So until that gets cleaned up, I can't really. I don't play it that much. I get frustrated really fast. Like it's so slow. I'm so used to getting like 20, 30, 40 kill games. I'm barely getting in the teens in some of these games, man. People are camping so hard.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
And then I'm gonna go with one game that I play still a decent amount. It's the OG game, probably one of the best games, if not the best game of all time. Minecraft. Okay. Minecraft.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with some Minecraft, boys.
Yeah, you really can't.
The game has died and came back. It's the OG of all games, and everybody has grown up playing it.
It is Jesus Christ. It died and has risen again, and I don't see it going anywhere, boys.
Fortnite took a stab at it, and it came right back. The game is probably going to be alive for years and years.
There's just so much you can do. There's endless possibilities of what you can do in that game. It's amazing.
You can massacre chickens. You can kill pigs. You can just kill a bunch of stuff.
In that game, they've been adding on for years, and the game is just still up to the same par.
I remember as a kid sitting on my Xbox 360 because I didn't have a computer, waiting for the Enderman update to add the Enderman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I sat there and waited, and it finally came. And I was like, honestly, as a kid, you act like you're scared as shit. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking cry, and you run away. But dude, Minecraft has some of the best memories of gaming, and it's never gonna stop.
Speaking of Minecraft, there's a popular server on the PC end of it called Hypixel, and they've kind of been in talks with the creator of Minecraft, and they're probably gonna make a more animated version of Minecraft. It's soon to release. It was supposed to release early this year, but they've had they decided not to release it this year, and it's going to be coming soon. But their trailer has around 50 to 60 million views on it, so the game definitely has some hype around it. We could see a big revival in Minecraft here.
Something I'm very excited about for Minecraft in the future is Minecraft Earth. Have you guys heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I am not too excited for it.
Minecraft.
I've seen
like Pokemon Go, but how are you not excited for that, dude? Building Minecraft structures in the real life through your phone? Come on.
I don't feel like it's gonna be as crazy as people think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna kind of be a letdown.
One more genre of games I just want to throw in. Sorry about this. Is horror games. Like any horror game, like Blair Witch. I don't really think Left 4 Dead is a
Left 4 Dead. What are we in the fucking 2012?
Yeah, but you can still hop on your Xbox 360 and just yank on some Left 4 Dead.
Honestly, I don't know if I can because I don't know.
You're a communist.
I don't know if my Left 4 Dead disc has little scratches on it. I'm pretty sure there's a big scratch on the Left 4 Dead disc and it will not load.
I lied. Not Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2.
They're both pretty good.
It's the best game ever. But and one more is Dead by Daylight. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
That's with Michael Myers, isn't it?
There's all kinds of monsters now, dude. All kinds of them.
Yeah, it's really fun.
The one we say Michael Myers. Cole, do you mean Jason? Are you talking about Friday the 13th?
No, I've only watched Dead by Daylight, so I'm not really too into what the characters are and what who's in there, but I just heard that it's like somewhat close to that.
Yeah.
But I think
It's a pretty fun, scary game. It's fun to play.
yeah, you definitely any
And-
game that you can play with friends, you can somewhat make fun and enjoyable.
Oh yeah, totally.
And adding on to that, any Slenderman game is amazing, you know?
Yep. Make sure you turn the lights off, put some headphones in, and enjoy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, like, going off of our Fortnite creative thing, like, if you can find, like, any creepy maps, they added, like, a shit ton of stuff, like, that's supposed to scare the crap out of you. And, yeah, like, Fortnite creative maps can be really fun to just do.
But overall, I think that quite wraps up what we've been talking about here. You guys got any final arguments or anything you want to talk about before we end it here?
This video will be
that's-
coming out on Thursday, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching this.
Yes, happy
Gobble
Thanksgiving,
fucking
everybody.
gobble, you know?
Enjoy the stuffing.
And yes,
Oh,
if you haven't, if this is Thanksgiving Day and you haven't watched any of our previous, and this is your first one, we had a podcast go up Tuesday, which was a sports recap, and we had one go up Wednesday, which is just the origin of how this group and the podcast has been made. And then Friday, tomorrow for you guys, if you're watching this on Thursday, we have a big old NFL, NCAA, big everything leading up in sports is going to be happening on that day. We're just going to be talking about all the big games that are going down, what we think's been going on, and how we feel on everything. But
Yep.
Colton,
Also,
you
we're
wanna?
talking about the Duke loss because fuck Duke, they suck dick. Fuck Duke. If you like Duke, fuck you.
Yeah, there's gonna
And
be.
I just want to throw out again, go ahead and, I said it in the intro, but go ahead and follow us on our socials on Twitter at the 4am pod, not podcast.
Don't forget crew.
POD.
4am crew.
4am crew pod, thank you, Dom. And on Instagram at the 4am crew podcast.
And we're also, if you're watching this on YouTube, we are also on Spotify and on iTunes. And if you're watching on iTunes or on Spotify, make sure to go over to YouTube and whichever
Like and
platform works.
subscribe.
Yeah, whatever
keep
platform works best for you guys.
You keep saying watching, but they're going to be listening.
That's
so,
true. That's true.
But we will. We will. There's a couple whispers in the winds that we will be doing some videos up in the future. You know, we got to get a couple more things to get that up and rolling, but that's going to be coming relatively soon. So look out for that.
Yeah, I
wanna
think
see
I
our
think
beautiful
that we can all
faces.
say that we've kind of been enjoying this podcast that we've been doing, and it's been kind of a.
It's pretty much what we've been doing every night for like the past 3 weeks. You know, just sitting here talking with the boys. You know.
And it feels good
And-
to just have people see that, like, what our opinion on things are.
And in a few weeks, you're gonna be able to see all three of our beautiful faces, except Dom, because he's an ugly, fat motherfucker. But other than that,
Whoa,
I
whoa,
think-
whoa. Once again, stop coming reckless at Dom.
And we might not. Everyone might not be a video, or maybe once a week, or it depends on what we may do. But I think we're just kind of rambling on here. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast.
I think we just need to end this fucking video.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to the podcast. If you're watching this on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Follow us on our
Watch
socials.
YouTube, like and subscribe.
Yep, and we'll see you guys Friday for the big sports. What is it? Sports
Preview show, baby.
preview show, and we'll see you guys Friday. Alrighty.